Fantastic. So, hello and welcome everyone to our little mini workshop called based on the book Creating Something Incredible, which is a cookbook that's been brought out to celebrate Grace Mazur's 20 years here in Australia. It is a gorgeous book. It is available in all good bookstores. It's already won awards. It's a best-selling cookbook. It has some amazing recipes in there, and there is a small collection of them which are already on Cookie Do. If you don't know what Cookie Do is, that's okay. We will give you a bit more of an explanation shortly. So you can actually have those recipes on your Thermomix and you can get guided cooking, and the girls are going to show you how to do that. So I've got Jess Eves. She's presenting two of the dishes today, and I've also got Leanne presenting another two. I've got the day off. I'm not cooking. And we also have a very special, a brand new guest today, and that's Jocelyn, who has just joined our team, and we're very excited to have her on. And I can, yes, Jocelyn, she has quite a few customers on today, which is wonderful, or friends. So today's about a bit of fun. Okay, so sit back and please ask questions either in the chat box or as we go, just come off mute. I will leave you all on mute while the girls are cooking so that you can hear exactly what they're saying, and you'll get the most out of the session. But do feel free to come off mute if you want to ask any questions or clarify anything. I will be keeping a close eye on the chat box to answer any questions as we go. Okay, so the dish that's going to take the longest time is the caramelized leek and feta tart. Is that what it's called? So we're going to get started on that first because we'd love you to see the end result. Okay, so over to you, Jess.
Just unmute myself. Hello everyone, thank you for joining. So as Tess said, I'm going to be making the caramelized leek and feta tart today. I'll grab it over here. I have pre-baked the tart shell. I'm still going to talk you through how to make it though, just because it takes some resting time in the fridge. So we thought by the time it rests and then we cook it, we'll be here all afternoon. So I'm going to be doing guided cooking on my screen here. So I've already got the recipe up and I'm going to start cooking. So first is grease your tart tin. And then next you go into your bowl with the flour, chilled unsalted butter. So it's really important that your butter is really cold for this. And then you give that a quick mix on speed 8. So that's going to cut up your butter really finely and give you that breadcrumb consistency. Then you go in with your egg yolk and some chilled water. And then again, you give that a quick mix for 10 seconds. And then that's it. So then what I did after that was I got my floured bread mat out, put it on there, put it into shaped it into a ball, and then popped it into the fridge for 20 minutes. And keeping your pastry really chilled is then what makes it that really flaky, beautiful texture. So that's a really important step that you don't want to skip when you're making pastry, is making sure that it stays really cold through the whole process. So I wrapped it up, popped it into the fridge, preheated my oven, and then this recipe is really great, and I'll just re-angle this computer so you can see. We've got a few video steps here. So it shows you exactly how to roll out your pastry if you're not 100% sure. So I don't know if you can see that playing there, or you might be able to. So it just gives you a really quick demo of exactly how to roll out your pastry and then also line your tin with your pastry. So all I did to with mine was I rolled it out straight onto my bread mat. I'll re-angle this so you're not looking at half my head. Rolled it out onto my bread mat, and then when I had the right shape, I just got my tart tin and flipped it on, so I didn't have to pick it up and move it around that way. So less handling is better, again, to keep it nice and chilled. Popped it in the oven, and there is my result. So it's not completely cooked because it's going to go back into the oven, but it'll just mean that we have got that nice crispy bottom once it's cooked. So now I'm just going to go through here. Oh, that's another really important thing as well, is once you've done this, then you want to weigh it down. So on the recipe, it says to use some pie weights, but I don't have any. So I just put baking paper and then filled it up with rice. And that's just to make sure that your pastry stays flat and you don't end up with, you know, bits that have risen and lumpy bottoms and that sort of thing. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the filling. So I'll talk through this because I know that you probably can't see the screen perfectly. So 20 grams of oil is
We
going.
can actually see it pretty well, Jess. It's
Oh,
just
really?
it's hard to read the actual writing, but
Yeah.
we can see the jug.
Oh, great. So as you can see there, we've got the scales measuring. So that's 1 gram increments there. So we've got 20 grams of oil in, and then leek. So we're just using the white part of the leek, and I've chopped that up just in slices. And I will save the rest of my leek for the next time that I make some stock paste. So we're not wasting any.
And how will you store that, Jess?
I will just chop it up and keep it in a Ziploc bag and then in the freezer.
Fantastic.
Okay, so it's going on, and then I've got my splash guard here, and we use this for the high heat function. So it always asks you as a safety thing to make sure that you've got your splash guard on, so I can say done. And then when I start this, it's got the time preset here for 10 minutes on the maximum temperature on the high heat function. So once I start this, it will just go. And this is going to stop and start and change speeds and get really hot, so we end up with that really nice caramelization on the leek. And
fantastic.
That now.
So if you were cooking this recipe with a TM5, you could do so. You would just need to set the controls for 15 minutes at 120 degrees on reverse speed 1, and that's in the cookbook and in the recipe as well. However, it's not going to get to as high a heat temperature as the TM6 does, because the TM31 and the TM5 only go to 120 degrees. So with the high heat, how hot does it go, Jess?
I believe it is 160.
Yes.
Yes.
Out there. Well done. It is 160. All right. So that's going to cook away for roughly 15, maybe a bit less than the TM6.
Yeah, 10 minutes it's got on the timer.
So while that's cooking away, we'll cross over to Leanne, and she'll get started on the cocktail. No, the plaxi. Is that how you say it?
Plaxi.
That's it. Thank you. All right, where are you, Leanne? I'm going to remove Jess's spotlight and add Leanne. Technology. There you go. Over to you, Leanne.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining today. I haven't actually made this recipe, but I am looking forward to having it, as I mentioned a bit earlier, watching the footy after we've done our demos today. But I'll walk you through, for those that aren't familiar with Cookie Do, it's Thermomix's own recipe platform, and it currently houses about 70,000 recipes worldwide. So straight in your machine. So how good is that? So I've already put the recipes I'll be doing today into my week, so I can and it says start cooking. So I've already weighed my potatoes. So we want 750 grams of peeled potatoes cut into pieces, 5 centimeters. I don't peel because I quite like the extra fiber, and that's about that size. And just as a rule of thumb, if it can fit through your lid, that's small enough. So next it says onions. We don't have onions here due to intolerances, so just leave it out. 1 garlic clove, really in our household means 2 or more, so in they go. 70 grams of plain flour, in it goes. 2 eggs. Now, because I'm doing the cocktail, and the cocktail actually asks for egg whites, I've got 2 egg yolks and 1 egg, so I'm not wasting anything.
Well, you make me very happy saying that, Leanne. I don't like waste.
No, I don't like waste either. And now we just add some salt and pepper. And pop the lid on with the measuring cup inserted, hit next, and it's going to actually grate for 20 seconds on speed 5.
I'd be interested to know, Leanne, how, once it stops, how long you think it would take to grate those potatoes by hand.
Got it?
Oh, wait.
Okay, sorry.
I was just going to say, I'd be interested to know roughly how long you think it would take to grate those potatoes by hand to get the same result.
I wouldn't do this recipe. If I had to grate it, I wouldn't do it.
Fair enough.
So there it is. Now, I'm all about quick, easy, saving my knuckles, not having them bleed. So yeah, also too with the eggs, what I will just show you, and in the cocktail that I'm making called for lemon juice, I save these and freeze them. And when my bowl gets super, super dirty, I will actually do an eggshell and lemon wash. So once again, trying to use up everything and minimize waste.
And how do you do that wash, Leanne?
So I would put probably an extra lemon in, and then you grate them down. I think it's a Skinny Mixers recipe, and I think it's 10 seconds on speed 10, and then you just to grate everything down. And then what you actually do is cover the blades with water, and then it's 30 minutes. Temperature is 50 degrees, I think, from memory, and speed 1. And voila, and it gets all the yucks off the bottom of your jug. So it actually saves, and I can be a bit lazy, like after the caramelization, I'll do a eggshell and lemon wash rather than scrub. So
yeah, absolutely. Why not? Fantastic. And the other tip is when you're finished with it is you can actually pour that onto your garden. I think it's nitrogen that's in the egg shells that is really good for your garden, and it's composting at the end of the day. And if it's still quite coarse, the eggshell, it will deter your snails as well. So win-win.
Exactly. So now my next says prepare a large tray, which I've done. I've just used my beautiful gold tray. I'm just lined it with paper towel, because what we're going to do is once we fry this potato is actually let it rest and let the oil drain on here. And so now it wants me to start cooking. So Tess, do you still want me to go over and start cooking with this, or will
I'm
we go
pretty
back?
sure. How long do you have to go? 2 minutes. All right. Well, you can get yourself sorted, Leanne, and just be ready for when we, because I think Jess has got a 3-minute cook.
Okay, no, that's fine. Can I just before you go, like on Jess's recipe, I don't know if you can see here, I'll just bring you a bit closer.
Yes, we can see really well.
Giving you a video, so it tells you what to do. So it wants you to put 2 heaped teaspoons or tablespoons into hot oil and shallow fry. So if you're not sure, you just click on the start.
Fantastic.
And you can do these in any shape you want. You can have one great big potato pancake if you want.
Your sound's gone a bit, Leanne. Sorry.
Sorry, I was going to say, you can do it in any shape you want for this. Up to you. You can have big ones, little ones, whatever takes your fancy. So
Fantastic. I don't know if you've noticed, Leanne, but this was actually one of the very first things that Grace made when she brought the Thermomix to Australia. It was actually on the cooking experience list. I didn't know that until today. Yeah, so
exciting.
very interesting. It is a very apparently a very common dish in Europe and very traditional. So yeah, I'm keen to give them a go.
Well, it makes quite a lot too, as you can see. So I'll start frying that up, and it's quite cheap. It's really only potatoes. So,
Yeah, we might have those for dinner. Why not? Alrighty, over to you, Jess.
Okay, so I've got 30 seconds left on my leeks, and I wish you could all smell it because it smells amazing in here. And I think you can see there the steam coming out. So it's gotten really hot, smells amazing. 15 seconds, and then I'll be able to show you what they look like. But obviously, being the main component of the tart, we want to make sure that we've got as much flavour from them as possible. So take that on there. Okay. So be able to. How's that?
Beautiful.
See there, and they've got lots of colour to them, especially these little ones down the bottom. They're nice and soft, and you can you see that they're quite brown now? Yeah, so I think they're going to be really nice.
Very tasty.
So what are we up to next? So 20 grams of brown sugar. I had this pre-weighed before starting. 10 grams of white vinegar. Now, I've never made this recipe either, so we're all flying blind today.
But isn't that the benefit of Cookie Doo? You know, because
exactly.
they've been triple tested by Thermomix chefs all around the world.
Well, like Leanne said about her recipe, if I had this recipe and no Thermomix and I seen that I had to make pastry, wouldn't have done it. Would have skipped straight past it.
No.
So that's actually going to cook now for 3 minutes. So the only things that I added there was the brown sugar and the vinegar. And this time we're not going for the high heat, but we're just going up to 120 degrees. So I'm going to get that one started.
So Jess, would you mind just explaining what those 3 circles are on the?
Oh, yes,
because we've got a few people on who haven't seen a Thermomix before.
Sure. So we've got these 3 circles here, as you can see. So the first one here is time. The second one here is the temperature, and the third one here is the speed. So when you're cooking, guided cooking with cookie dough, the time and the temperature is always going to be set, and it's going to tell you what speed you need to turn your dial to. And there's always a little line there, so you know when to stop. If you had a recipe that you found from another website or something you were converting yourself, you can put your own time and your own temperature into those ones as well. And we call that manual cooking. So it just depends what you're doing. But of course, with cookie dough, you can still adjust these things. So if you're cooking a different recipe and you've done it before and you say, oh, well, last time that cooked for 10 minutes and I don't think it was enough, you can turn the time up to suit your own preferences or turn it down. So it's a guide, it's not a rule. So those are those. And you've also got with your speed, so we go all up the way up to speed 10 from the soft speed, which is just like a spoon mix, all the way up to speed 10, which is for grating hard cheeses and chocolates. And you've also got the reverse functions, which then puts your blades in reverse, goes with the name, and that prevents it from chopping up all your food if you don't want it chopped up.
Fantastic. That's great. Thanks, Jess.
Yeah.
Also, speed 10 is awesome for cocktails, I might just add.
Yes, for the ice. Frozen cocktails on speed 10. Very good.
Yes, I've still got cocktails on the brain from last night. I can't get the song Pina Colada out of my head either.
Yum.
It's a worry. All right, Leanne, are you ready to show us what's happening in your kitchen?
I am. I will bring you over. So off mute. So I'll bring you over just to show you. Can you see?
Oh, yum.
And so that's them cooking there.
So they don't take long.
No, it says 2 minutes each side to get them nice. They've got to be crispy because they don't look really good if they're not crispy. So that's, I can stop cooking and do the rest later, but I mean, I've got 5 on the go now and I still have plenty left.
Awesome. You might need to have a little taste, Leanne, I think.
I think I will too. Do you want to come down and have some, Tess?
I'd love to, but unfortunately you're over 5 kilometres from me.
Well and truly.
Oh, yum. Oh, that looks so good. It almost looks like a potato cake.
Very good.
Oh, wow. I
That's
imagine
my chili sauce that I made later.
Beautiful. Fantastic. And you know, the beauty is, you know exactly what's in it. There are no preservatives. There's no artificial rubbish. And Grace mentions that she uses gluten-free flour as well, so they can be made gluten-free. I certainly know some peeps who are gluten-free and would find that an incredibly tasty treat. Fantastic. Thanks, Leanne. And we'll head back to Jess now.
All right. Okay, so my 3 minutes is up, so we'll see what's coming next. So this has just asked me to place in a bowl and set aside. I might actually be able to show you better what it looks like. So with the addition of the brown sugar, now that's really gone, really changed colour again.
Nice one, Kimberly. Yep, I'll get that recipe for you right now.
No, Kim Dale, unfortunately, you're out of my 5K bubble. But you could make them in yours.
So that's what our leeks are looking like now after that addition of the brown sugar. So we've just add that real extra caramelized flavour to them, and they smell amazing.
Yes, they do. So did you scrape off the bottom?
Yeah, so the bottom, I thought sometimes when you do the high heat, you end up with a bit of caramelization stuck to the bottom. But I think with the addition of the vinegar in that step, it's lifted it all up.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because I was trying to show you in here, but the bottom of this bowl actually has a lot of that brown juice. So I think it's lifted it all in there. So we're going to get that flavour all in our tart instead of down the sink.
Fantastic. There's the cookie dough link for the Pluxee, or however you say it. I'm going to butcher the language. Not good.
So next we are going in with some cream. So I've got 200 grams of cream going in. A little bit over because I got a bit excited. And 3 eggs.
Oh, this sounds so good.
Yeah, once I read this recipe, I thought, oh, I think this is going to be very nice. And it would be very easy to adapt to your own flavours too. Like I think some extra herbs might be nice in there. You could put a little bit of bacon in.
Yum.
Okay.
Even some salmon. So Sarah has just informed us that translated the Pluxee, translated from Polish, is potato cake.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper, and now we're just going to mix that all together. So that's just 10 seconds. That's it. It's ready. Okay. So this step here is asking me to pour half the mixture into my baked tart base, then top with the leek and feta, and then add the rest of the egg mixture. So you can see kind of there. No. It's hard to show people what liquids look like in there.
Yeah, it is.
And that's just the cream and the egg all beaten up together. So we'll pour half of that in.
Can you just move the jug, please, Jess?
Oh, yes, sure.
Thank you.
I'm going to move that. How's that?
Great.
So I'm just going to sprinkle kind of, whoops, without making too much mess. Not making mess is not my strong point. Always been a very messy cook.
I hear you. I'm the same. So this recipe is brought to us by Maria Stewart, who is a consultant, and she still is a consultant with us. She's been with us for many, many years, and she's a chef. And she's always had a huge influence and guides us when it comes to pastry, because pastries are her forte. So this is her recipe. She was asked to contribute it for the beautiful cookbook. And yeah, I'm really jealous.
The pastry, it was it was really easy to make, but it was beautiful to work with. Like it was really soft.
Yeah.
But moving it to, sometimes I know when I make pastry, trying to move it from the bench or my mat to the tart case, it always just crumbles apart. But this, perfect, stayed in one piece, so soft. So I think this will be my go-to pastry recipe from now on.
Fantastic.
No matter what the recipe.
Mm.
So I'm just going to top that with the rest of that egg mixture. Next, and then we've got some cherry tomatoes there. So I've just sliced those and we're going to put those on top. It also has the option of anchovies, which I've left out because I was skeptical of my children eating it if I put anchovies on it.
Fair enough.
So
I wouldn't put them on either.
oh, see, I really like them, but I just don't think that they would eat it.
No. So you could easily use sun-dried tomatoes as well.
Sun-dried tomatoes would be beautiful on here.
I just think that would be delicious served with a salad with avocado and oh, yum.
I think this recipe would be really adaptable to a lot of different flavors.
What are you serving it with tonight, Jess?
I don't know yet. Yeah, I'll probably, it's because it's a nice night. I think we'll just do a salad with it. And then that's it. So that's that tart done. Now it's just going to go in the oven, which I preheated earlier to 160 for 35 minutes.
Beautiful.
So I'll pop that in now so we can get it finished.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jess. All right, well, we're going to leave Jess now so she can wash her bowl and get ready for the dessert that she's making. And we're going to cut across back to Leanne for her special dish.
I'm looking forward to this one, but can I just show you, I'm still frying. Have a look at that.
Yum.
And the only change I guess I would make is make sure I usually skimp on my salt and pepper, put more salt and pepper, maybe even an extra clove of garlic. You could even put in some herbs and spices in that. And then I had a brainwave. Why not use this little juvie thing to make my pancakes? So a lot easier just tipping it into the fry pan. So anyway. All right, so my next dish, well, it's not a dish, it's a drink, is Bianca Mazur's Turkish Frozen Delight Martini. This is so good, but I've decided just to do a half serve today because I don't want to drink the whole 4 drinks myself. So a few steps were done earlier. It asks for cranberry juice, and they want the cranberry juice actually as ice. So I did that, and I've popped my cranberry juice in ice cube trays, so I've got the ice there. So it says, if I go back, it says place a jug onto the mixing bowl lid and weigh in 260 grams of cranberry juice. Then pour the juice into ice cube trays and place in the freezer overnight. So when the cranberry juice is frozen, it's ready to use. All right. So now I hope I don't forget I'm doing half. So it says 160 grams of gin. So I only need 80. Oh, 86, that'll do. Next, 40 grams of squeezed lemon. In it goes. So I'm only using half, which is 20. 50 grams of rose water. So I only need 25 grams. Next, add 4 egg whites. So half of that is 2. In they go. And actually, did I miss a step? So the beauty of this is if you do miss a step, you can just use your back arrow, or alternatively, the 3 dots up the top here, you can click on that and go to recipe, and it takes you right back to the recipe. So you can check if you have missed a step. No, once the cranberries in the next step. So just click back onto the step that you're at, and it takes you right back there. So now pop the jug, the lid, and the measuring cup, and for 10 seconds it's going to mix at speed 6. Who likes martinis? Okay, So next, I'll just show you, it's just very frothy in there. It wants the ice cubes. In they go. Pop the lid and the measuring cup back on. And 15 seconds on speed 6. And that, my friends, is it. Now we just pour into the martini glasses and decorate. Can you see? Oh, yep.
I just realised I was on mute. I've been chatting.
Oh,
We can see perfectly. Thanks, Leanne. It looks gorgeous.
so there's still a little bit left in there, so I guess I'll get 3 drinks tonight.
Holy
And then
dooly.
we just garnish with some Turkish delight. And some Hatchmack berry floss, which comes in this packet here.
Where did you get that from?
Before we were in lockdown, I got it from Leo's. Same with this Turkish delight in Leo's. So
Beautiful.
and there's so much in here. Like, have a look at that. It's just, and it's not sweet like the stuff you used to give your kids. It's just,
Oh, that looks gorgeous.
yeah, it's messy, but half
Yeah.
the fun's making the mess, isn't it? I think.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's probably a bit too decadent, but anyway.
Oh, Leanne, make sure you take a photo.
So that's, yeah. That's it. So who wants one?
Yes, please.
So if I can just say, if you were making this, and I've done this recipe before, if you were making this and you were using the 4 egg whites, you obviously have 4 yolks. So rather than waste the yolks, I did find a egg yolk cookie recipe on Recipe Community that I made up using those. And let me tell you, they didn't last very long in the house. And rather than let everyone have a little party on the rest of the Turkish delight, I put them into Elise Alexandra's Turkish delight cookies, and they were delicious as well. So in fact, they were very, very delicious.
I love Turkish delight. I think it was from coming from a family of having 3 older brothers. That was always what was left in the, the favorites box. Nobody wanted the Turkish delight. But now in our house, everyone wants a Turkish delight. It's terrible. I have to share. Oh.
Yum. Or you hide it.
Yes. So it's good.
Oh, it's delicious. Nice
Fantastic.
and strong. Delicious.
It looks like something that you would have, like if you're having a special dinner party or something, or, you don't even really need an excuse, do you?
With your Thermi, you
No.
churn out beautiful stuff like this very, very easily.
Fantastic. Thanks, Leanne.
It's okay.
Okay, over to Jess.
Right. Yeah, I keep looking at those cocktails and I think, oh, I wish I'm one of those people who hate Turkish delight. So I keep looking at it going, oh, but I still want to try it. It looks so good.
Just leave the Turkish delight off.
Yeah.
Put something else on.
Has it got rose water or something in it?
Yeah, rose water.
Maybe I'll leave that out. It'll just be cranberry.
Yeah, you could leave that out as well. I don't think it's a strong flavour.
No, it looks good though. So now I'll go back. I am going to be doing this chocolate and peanut butter custard. So I made this earlier in the week because I thought, well, you know, I better give it a taste test before I show everyone else. And custard is one of my all-time favorite things to make in my Thermomix. And this recipe was delicious. I've got 2 little girls and they both had thirds. And so it was a real hit in our house. And it was so simple. So first of all, it's going to ask me to put a bowl on the mixing bowl lid like so and weigh in my chocolate. So I've already done that. So it's 50 grams of dark chocolate. Old Gold was on sale at Coles last week, so I used that, but you could use whatever you like. And then you set that aside. So now I'm going to take the lid off. And we've got 40 to 50 grams of raw sugar going in. So I can't remember how much I put in here. I went 60, so a little bit over, but I don't mind it being a bit sweeter. And then 15 grams of corn flour. So if you like a really thick custard, you can add more corn flour. If you like your custard really thin, you could add less. So you can adjust it to your own preferences, obviously. And then 500 grams of milk. Nearly there. There we go. And some vanilla extract. I never measure mine. That's one of those ones you measure with your heart. And 2 eggs. Now, like Leanne was saying before, with her egg whites, what you could also do is sometimes if I've got extra egg yolks, even though this recipe and other custards will ask for whole eggs, if I've just got egg yolks at home because I've been doing something with egg whites, I will just add egg yolks to my custard instead of the whole egg. So it's just another way that you can use up everything rather than, you know, having leftover egg yolks. So custard will work fine with just egg yolks and no egg whites. So I've got 2 in there, lid on. So now this is going to be using the Thicken mode. So this is in the TM6 for thickening sauces and custard. So as you'll see on there, it actually doesn't have a time. So this would someone say something? Yeah. It has the temperature set to 80, but it doesn't have a time. So this is just going to do its thing until it's at the appropriate consistency. I was going to say thickness, but that's not the word I wanted, consistency. So that, I believe, Tess might be able to provide a little bit more information, but I believe that is based on the temperature and weight of ingredients that you're using. Is that right, Tess?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I think it's around about 6 to 7 minutes for that proportion that you're using, and around about 10 minutes if it's a serve between 6 to 8, because we always make 6 to 8 when we make custard, because we've got 5 big eaters in our family. So and we like a little leftover. Lizzie will take it in her lunch the next day.
Yeah.
Not this one because it's got peanut butter in it.
All right, so I'm going to get that one going and then it'll just do its thing.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jess. All right, well, you girls can take a break now. So you've got your tart happening in the oven. Leanne's getting sloshed with her cocktail. She's got dinner sorted, or snacks for footy, in her polished potato cakes. And now, while we're just waiting for that tart to cook and the custard to cook, I'm going to take you on a little tour through Cookie Do. So Cookie Do is our online recipe platform, and where are we? It's following. Okay, so it's our online recipe platform. So when you think of Netflix, that's for movies. You think of Apple Music or Spotify, that's for music. Cookie Do is exactly the same for us. It's for Thermomix recipes. Okay, so if that helps that sort of slot in your brain a little better. I do like to use analogies, they work for me. Keep it simple, I always say. So what I'm going to do now, and you are all, if you are not already on Cookie Do, you can sign up for a free 30-day subscription at www.cookiedoo.com.au. I'm just wondering, Jess or Leanne, if you could please type that into the chat box, that would be awesome. Yeah. So everyone is entitled to a 30-day free trial. And get in there and have a play. Have a look at what you might like to plan for the week ahead if you had a Thermomix, if you don't already. And thank you. And it's just a good way to sort of get a gauge of whether or not a Thermomix is right for you. Okay, so here we go. I am going to share my screen and we are going to go and have a little tour of Cookie Do. Can you all see my Cookie Do screen? Hopefully. All right, and there's the recipe that Jess was just making, and that's how I was grabbing the links to pop into the chat box. Okay, so Cookie Do, that's your initial page, and there's lots of suggestions, but based on what you like to cook. Cookie Do, like anything in cyber world, picks up on algorithms of things that tickle your fancy and is going to make suggestions of what to make. Cookie Do knows me reasonably well. It has suggested a cocktail. And there are lots of other ideas in here too. So it shows you what's trending at the moment. So cooking beetroot and corn, making beef liquid stock, an Asian master stock, making gnocchi or pasta. People obviously in lockdown are getting their inner nonna on and getting stuck into some Italian cooking. And we've got some Cookie Do Kids. So the first page is really just a bit of an overview of what's possible. Here we are with the most cooked. Okay, so this dish is beautiful, Thai peanut chicken with coconut rice. Macarons, I have yet to give those a go. Yeah, so look, with 70,000 recipe suggestions, it is only up to you how versatile you want to be with your cooking. Now, I have nominated in my profile that time is precious to me. I'm all about fuss-free cooking and getting good food that's going to be eaten on the table, especially during the week, with minimum fuss. So it says to me, because your time is precious, spend less of it in the kitchen with these quick and easy recipes. So that sponge is really beautiful. All right, so heading back up now, if we want to explore what we want to cook. So for example, this is very similar to taste.com. So if you go to your cupboard and you haven't been to the shops and you've got a few ingredients in your cupboard, you could type in chicken. You might have a can of tomatoes. And you may have some rice. Okay, so key in those 3 ingredients, select search, and 99 recipes are going to come up. All right, now that's odd because that's brought pasta up. Oh, here we go, rice. Okay, so there's lots of suggestions in there. Now I've got my search filters defaulted to bring up all the English, because I don't speak any other language, I only speak English. So you can see here, I've just got English languages. So if I got rid of that filter, oh, there's not that many more. That one didn't work so well. Let's just search chicken. Okay, so if we've just got chicken, there's 1,073 recipes in there. That's a lot to work through. Let's say you wanted to refine the search a little bit more. So you go into filters and we want main dishes, yeah? And we might put in that we want we've got all languages in there. And now it's down to 664. So it narrows it down a little bit more for you. Yeah, so you get the idea. Now, I'm just thinking that, I wish I could say it properly. Pluxy. Sorry. We wanted to find that recipe, since that's how you spell it. And I want to put my filters back on. I am making this look way more confusing than it is. I'm sorry. There it is. Okay, now let's say we found that we've gone, oh yes, I want to make that. You would click on these three dots here and you would say, yep, I'm going to make that today. And you would add it to your week on the 28th and hit save. Now, just between you and me, I've done that for all 4 recipes. So when I click on my week, there they all are. That's the 4 recipes we've made today. All right. Now I can instantly create a shopping list by clicking on these 3 dots and going add to shopping list. Add to shopping list. Add to shopping list. And I do this every Sunday for the week ahead. Okay, so I would add in all the week's recipes that I want to make. So now you click on show ingredients in your shopping list and it orders them and it bulks them together. So if you, for example, needed dark chocolate in 2 of the recipes, it would tell you the total amount of dark chocolate that you need. So the next step is to go through your shopping list and take off the things that you don't need. I'm hoping you can see there's a little square here. So if you don't need it, you just select it and it comes off your shopping list and goes down the bottom. Water is in my tap. I definitely don't need that. Okay, so that's how you create your shopping list. And from there, look at this whiz bang. You can order your ingredients. Okay, so you've got a couple of choices. This is an app. You could go down to the shops and bring the app up on your phone and it's a live site. And as you go around the supermarket and pop these items in your trolley, you are only buying what you actually need for the week ahead. So this is going to decrease your wastage. You're not going to be buying things that you don't need. You're not going to be buying something because it's on special and you think you're going to use it, but then you get to the end of the week and you haven't used it and it's gone off. So this is a really big game changer in wastage and great for saving money. And it also enables you to budget. So before you go and do your shopping, you hit order ingredients and it's going to tell you roughly how much it's going to cost. And of course you can add extra items if you want to. You just add your milk and whatnot. So Woolworths is the only major supermarket that's on board with this and they've been doing it with us for 2 years now. So here we go, is our shopping list at Woolworths. So you can get a bit of an idea of what it's going to cost. So it's saying $137.49. So if you're budgeting, that can be really handy information before you go shopping. And you might say, no, that's too much for this week. I want to spend less. So you might change which recipes you're using. But another tip to save some money is swap out your ingredients. I don't need White Wings flour. I'm more than happy with Woolworths variety. So here we go. It's 20 cents cheaper. I'd rather pick that. Okay. So yeah, always have a look at what they have suggested. The corn flour, again, they're gone for the brand. I'm more than happy. You know, we've just saved 30 cents on 2 items. It all adds up. Okay. And then when you're happy and you're ready to go, you hit add to Woolworths cart, and from there you can organise click and collect. They can deliver it to your boot, or you can organise home home delivery, which I did on Tuesday. And it's so fantastic, whether you go to the shops and get it yourself or whether you get it delivered or do click and collect. It is the best feeling to come home and put your shopping away and know that you are done for the whole week. You are sorted. You are organised, domestic goddess right there. Okay? And if one night you get home from work and you decide, I don't actually feel like risotto tonight, swap it out with another night because you've got all the ingredients. They're all there and you can swap it and change it around. I love that feature. Sorry, Leanne, did you want to say something? We can't hear you, love.
No, sorry, my husband's just come back from cycling, so I was waving to him. Sorry.
Ah! Fantastic. Now we've got a couple of comments in the chat. Yep. My favourites on Cookie Juice Risotto Verde. Yep. Okay. Sue's had to leave. No worries. Fantastic. Okay. Does anyone want to come off mute and ask any questions about Cookie Dough? That was a very, very brief overview, but I don't really want to bombard you with too much information. But basically, whatever you do on Cookie Dough is then accessible on your Thermomix. So maybe, Leanne, you're right there. Could you show us how to access your weekly plan on the Thermomix? I'll spotlight you.
Sure, I'll just bring you closer. So, okay. So you just go up into these three
Lines.
lines, thank you. And you presented with a whole range of different things. So you just go into my week, and that's what I popped in there for now. I did cauliflower rice, had some cauliflower left over that my daughter just made like a little fried rice up today, so I did the cauliflower rice as well.
Fantastic. Thank you, Leanne. And then when you click on those recipes, they bring up the guided cooking. So just click on one of them. Yeah. So there, and from there, it has all of the steps of how to make the dish. It's so super easy. And as Jess said before, when you're using a guided cooking recipe, it will preset the scales for you. It'll preset the temperature, and it will also preset the speed, as in tell you how, you know, what speed to cook on. So it's cooking for dummies, you know. A lot of people will say, well, not a lot, some people will say, oh, I don't need a Thermomix because I can cook already. But, you know, if you're brain dead at the end of the day after a really long day at work, or you've got little ones, you know, trying to climb up your body while you're trying to cook dinner, it's kind of nice to not have to think too much about what you're making, and you know it's going to be delicious and everyone will eat it and enjoy it. So as you can see, there is still basic cooking components that you need to do, like Jess rolled the pastry. She still had to do that. So it's not all taken away from you. Some people will also say, oh, you know, but I love cooking. I'm happy to stand there and stir my risotto for an hour. Well, you know, that's okay, but you could be doing something else. Yeah, spending more time with the family, getting the washing in, getting organised for the night ahead so that you can actually put your feet up a little bit earlier. Yeah, so there you go. Has anyone got any questions? No? All right, Jess, where are we up to?
Custard is just finished.
Fantastic. That's good time.
So I can show you the rest of that. Okay, so at the moment, so our custard step has just finished. So at the moment, what's in there is just a vanilla custard. So if you've got really, you know, lots of varied tastes in your house, someone could start with the vanilla custard. You can leave it at that. So now what it's asked me to do is to pour a third of the custard over our dark chocolate, and that's going to melt that. So we'll pour that on. Pop the rest back there. And that's going to melt the chocolate. Now you could also, I mean, there's lots of other custard recipes, but if I'm ever making, using another recipe, just the basic custard recipe, I will put my chocolate in at the start and grate it if I just want chocolate custard, and then continue with my recipe. But because this is using the same base for 2 different flavors, this is another really good way to save you making 2 batches of custard.
So what are you actually doing there, Jess? We can't quite see.
Sorry, so I've just got the custard in the bowl with the chocolate, and I'm just mixing it to melt the chocolate.
Beautiful.
So it doesn't take too long. So that's it. I'll just move. Actually, I might shut this curtain a little bit because the sun's moved. Might make it a little bit easier to see what's in the bowl.
Fantastic.
So that's the chocolate custard done. And now I will continue with the recipe. Okay, so I've got the rest of the custard still in the bowl, and then we're going to go in with 70 grams of smooth peanut butter. So after I made this last time, I thought you could really change this recipe up to so many flavors. Again, with the last one, I'm always thinking about how I can do the same recipe and get different results. But I am really into Biscoff, that Lotus Biscoff spread. And I thought instead of peanut butter in this recipe, if you put that in there, you would have that Biscoff custard and it would be amazing.
Yeah.
So lid goes back on, and then I'm just going to mix that for 10 seconds on speed 5. Get my bowl. Okay, so that's done. The lid to come off. Okay, so this is going to be easy to show you when I pour it. So now it just says immediately pour peanut and chocolate custards into 4 small serving glasses. I'm just going to do 1 for now, just to show you guys. So that's the peanut butter custard. Then we'll put some of the chocolate on top. I tried to get fancy with my serving glasses, but it's probably not going to. And then you just marble it through a little bit. Again, I'm a bit messy. Presentation is not my strong point, but that's that. Now, in the recipe, it says that you can garnish it with peanut brittle. So earlier this week, I used my Thermomix to make my own peanut brittle. It was really easy. It was just sugar, butter and water, and then just the peanuts. And I think it took about 20 minutes and I did no work. So I've just crushed a little bit of that up into little pieces there. And then that will just go on top. And it just makes it seem a little bit fancier.
Beautiful.
So you can have this custard either warm or cold. If you've got leftovers, which you probably won't, you can have them later. And that's the custard. 2 flavours in one go.
Awesome. Thanks, Jen. Your kids will be happy tonight. Jen, sorry.
They will be.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even notice. They will be, because they really enjoyed it last time. And I think that my timer for that tart is about to go off.
Fantastic.
So let me just... Oh, yes, that looks good. I'll just take that out of the oven.
Cannot wait to see this.
And I'll get my wooden chopping board out to put it on. There's the timer. Okay. So I will re-angle the camera for you so you can see it properly. And there it is.
Beautiful.
That's come out perfectly. It looks delicious, smells amazing. So that was, 35 minutes in the oven, and I'll just check, no wobble to it. So perfectly set, and that is it. So there's our dip and dessert.
Fantastic. So you could even put that in just to brown, or is it browned a little bit?
It is browned, but I think
it's not showing up.
Yeah, the reflection from my bring you a bit close, you might be able to see it. I think it's because of
that's better.
Light coming in.
Yep.
How's that?
Beautiful.
Smells amazing too.
I'm definitely going to make that too, Kimberly. It looks amazing.
And it was so easy. Like I said, I'm going to be raving about that pastry recipe for a while now because it was so simple.
Fantastic. I'm going to make that tomorrow.
Yeah, it was just a no fail. Like it was just really, really easy. I'm wrapped with it.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks, Jess. All right, I'm just going to quickly run through the incentives that are on offer at the moment. If anyone was interested in purchasing a Thermomix, there is a bit of a difference happening over the next 2 days, 3-4 days. There we go, spotlight. So our August, there's going to be a crossover from not tomorrow, the day after, the 30th. So at the moment, if you purchase a Thermomix, the August gift with purchase is, we didn't use it today, but this gorgeous thermo server, which you can't actually buy. So it is double insulated stainless steel. And it will keep your food hot or cold for 2 hours. So it's fantastic. If you have made some rice and you want to keep your rice hot while you go on to make your curry, you can pop it in there. Take ice cream down to the park when the parks are open again. It is fantastic. The uses are endless. There are so many different uses with that. And the other thing that comes with that for free, so they're worth $135, and you also get the Thermomix Creating Something Incredible cookbook, which comes for free as well, and that's worth $50. So $185 of extra value when you purchase your TM6 this current month using the August incentive. The price of the Thermomix is $2,359. We have lots of different ways of making that payment, and whoever your consultant is that's online today, you can reach out to them and they can walk you through the different repayments. Probably one of our most popular ones though is 24 months interest-free finance with Zip Money, because it works out to be roughly $25 a week, which is affordable. It makes it affordable for pretty much anyone, which is fantastic. Now, the next gift with purchase that comes on offer is, Eliza, can you grab the meter off the fridge for me, please? It is a meter pack, and this is geared 100% for Mother's Day. Well, not 100%, because girls cook on barbecues too. So with this pack, you pay an extra $49 on top of the price of the Thermomix, and for that, you get the meter, which is this fantastic probe that goes inside the thickest part of your meat and tells you when it reaches a certain temperature that your meat is done to the way you have pre-selected. So if you were having a steak on the barbecue, in the air fryer, in your Thermomix, however you like to cook it in the oven, on the fry pan, doesn't matter. Pop this probe into the thickest part of the meat, and through the app, you tell the device what type of meat it is. So it may be chicken. You would tell it if it's a breast or a leg or whatever, and you would also tell it how you like it cooked. Now with chicken, you would select well done, but with steak, you know, people like it differently. Some like rare, some like medium to rare, some like well done. Don't know why you would, but anyway, my husband used to like well done, and I have retrained him. So the meter is worth $199. So you get that with the September purchase, and you also get this awesome barbecue cookbook, which has got lots and lots of fantastic recipes. And you get these very cool skewers, a set of 4 of them. Now they're quite long, really long. You can fit a lot of food on those. And what is fantastic about them is when you go to eat, you can just squeeze there and off comes your meat nice and easily. You don't have to do that or have trouble getting it off. So your meat just comes off and your vegetables perfectly like so. So that's 4 of them, a meter and the barbecue cookbook, all for $49. Pretty good. So from Monday the 30th to, let me think, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday the 1st, you can choose which one you'd rather, whether you'd rather get the thermo server and the Creating Something Incredible cookbook, or you'd rather the barbecue pack for Father's Day. Then you can decide. After the 1st of September, it'll just be the barbecue cookbook for the rest of the month. Has anyone got any questions? The meter is amazing. And so is that tart, yes. No other questions? All right. So we have brought you 4 delicious recipes from the beautiful cookbook, and I am just going to have a look through our chat. And what I might do actually is, I'll have a look back through the chat, and if anyone would like to win a copy of this beautiful cookbook, just pop in the chat that you would like it and why you would like it, and I'll pick a winner from it afterwards, and I'll announce it on my Thermotest Facebook page, and I will post that out to you. So just to celebrate our little workshop today, I would like to really, really thank Leanne for making her 2 beautiful recipes, and I'm a bit jealous of what you'll be doing watching the footy this afternoon. And also would love to thank Jess as well. You have done a fantastic job with that tart. I absolutely want to jump into my computer and eat it now. So thank you, ladies. And thank you everyone for coming. Please do reach out to your consultant if you need any further information. And, you know, even if you're just after some inspiration, we love helping our customers and we're here for you. And anyone who's in lockdown, I hope you're managing okay. Please do jump onto any or all of our sites and keep an eye on what we're up to, and we will just love being of service to you and helping you love your Thermomix. All right, well, thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, see you.